Hello, and welcome to the Crescent Moon watercolor tutorial. If you like this, please subscribe.
Hello people, and welcome to A Painting a Day by Markus Humby. I'm just organizing the first two paintings of the month, and I'm sticking with something universal and simple, but it always draws everyone's imagination, and that is the moon. I couldn't resist shooting a crescent moon, which I saw over Lake Ontario during the summer. So I'm going to show you two different dramatic differences in watercolor. They're going to have a lot to do with blending and using wet in wet and wet on dry. But the first step here was I grabbed a toonie for my crescent moon. I grabbed a quarter for my full moon. And what I've done is I've taken this liquid frisket and I've masked out that moon. You can probably see it's still kind of wet there. This liquid frisket is available. This particular type is called Demco. It's a masking fluid, which will mean that when I coat this with water and let it dry, the watercolor dry, this paper will be unaffected. It's masked off. It will not be affected. So same with the crescent moon. Not sure if you can see that, but there's my little rough for the crescent moon. So let's clean out the brush. I'm using soapy water. I also put soapy water in my brush before dipping it into the frisket, otherwise you will wreck your brushes. Okay, I am back. That frisket is now dry, so I've got a barrier between the watercolor and the paper. So I've mixed here phthalo blue, dioxazine purple, a little bit of cobalt blue. And what I'm going to do now is use this mixture. I've also mixed over here cadmium yellow and Windsor orange. I'm going to tilt my page so there's a slope to it, about 20 degrees, 15, 20 degrees. And we're going to start laying in that blue. Grab a bit of water. Now what's happening is I'm getting what's called a leading edge. And that is very interesting in itself, but when you're doing washes, you just want to get ahead of the leading edge. Being careful with my water here. As I go down that page, you can see, because of gravity, that leading edge is taking care of the blend coming down. This is where I go to my cleaner water, over here. I'm going to a lighter color. I don't want it to turn green. I want a beautiful gold happening here. So I'm adding a lot of water to this at the very blend part here. Now I've got a new leading edge, you see? And making sure to get that paper uniformly wet. Lay down some deeper color as I move my way down the page. By deeper color, I mean it's not as diluted with water. You can see it's a little darker. And I'm trying not to get lines. The whole idea behind this being tilted is that there's lines there. So we get these beautiful blends that you just can't get in other kinds of paint. I dare you. So there's our orange. A little bit there. As you can see, that's done a lovely job. Now that it's where I want it, like this beautiful halo blend happening here, I'm going to flatten down the paper, which means I lay the board flat. My paint doesn't move; it stays where it is, and we get that beautiful blend happening between these colors. We're going to let that dry, and we'll come back and take a look once we get that mask off of the moon. Alright, our crescent moon is against our watercolor sky. Let's reveal it. I'm rubbing out the frisket, and there you have it. A crescent moon. I feel I can enhance that a little. I think what I'll do is mix up a bit of violet with indigo, with phthalo blue, to get this kind of deep blue violet color. Squeeze that out of my brush. You'll see how much color that brush actually holds. I'm going to rinse my brush. And now, I'm going to grab my clean flood brush. I'm loading it with that violet and phthalo blue. I'm tilting my table once again, and I'm coming back. Adding a bit of water to that. Bit more water. Bit more water. To clean water. Getting that leading edge so I get no line. And blending that into our bottom pieces. Now we should be able to let that go. I can add a bit more drama at the top here. I need a bit more of that. I need a bit more of this phthalo blue. Working on the fly here. That's what I'm talking about. Just trying to get that blend a little more interesting here in the middle. I think that's adequate. I think, well, maybe that's a little bit too linear. We now have a crescent moon against a beautifully blended sky.
Well, I hope you learned something from the Crescent Moon watercolor tutorial. I've learned not to wear a baseball hat when you're shooting a video. If you'd like to purchase this original, check out the link below. There's also prints available. Thanks again. See you tomorrow.